Hey guys, do I look a little worse for wear? That's because I am. Do I sound like garbage? Do I look like a grease monkey? I do. That's the truth. That's this eclipse season, you know? It was in my first house of self, so oh boy, did I get physically ill. I'm still sick. I burnt my hand on a spatula, like with plastic melting on me. It's Mercury retrograde. Man, oh man. Talk about getting owned. But I also feel like there was great information here. You know, it's like when you push and you move yourself and you move your body so hard, so fast, there's gonna be repercussions. Here I am. Welcome to my video, Repercussion. Please remember to like and subscribe to my channel so I can keep making these. It's so helpful when you like and subscribe and comment so that I know, you know, that I'm not just talking into the great void. Okay. How did you guys do with the eclipse? How was that for you? It was beautiful. I went out and looked at it and saged while I was looking at it. And yeah, I got sick. So that's vibey. I don't know what happened to you guys, but the eclipse was intense. And so listen, you beautiful, wonderful people, go slow this week, okay? We're still in Mercury retrograde. We just had this big gnarly eclipse. Like, this is no time to like go, go, go. This is not like New Year's resolution time. This is like recover from the bullshit time. Take all the time you need. I am gonna have to, for sure. But let's talk about what else is going on this week. To me, when I look at the astrology, I try to think of like, is there a planet that's being affected as a whole? And this week is a really sun-based week. You know, the weather's in Ashland, Oregon anyway, has been really finicky. It's been 80 degrees one day. It's been snowing the next day. It's just been crazy. And the sun was sextiling Neptune at the same time as the eclipse was happening. And, you know, when the sun is working with Neptune, it's working with this like deeper side of ourselves, this ability to live in that hanged man card, you know, the reality and the unreality of our lives. And so heading into this week is like a little cloudy, you know, because Neptune is a little cloudy. So today, Tuesday, Mars is joining the party, coming on down the line and conjoining Neptune as well. Well, the sun was sextiling Neptune, which is working with Mars being right next to Neptune. That's vibey for sure. You know, because Mars is our warrior spirit. And so it's like with Jupiter in Aries asking us, what can we get done? And then Mars, our warrior spirit, coming in and saying like, what can we dream? These are like really powerful vibes. These are really great things, you know, especially after the eclipse. The warning is that it makes us have desire to get up and go. And in a Mercury retrograde, it's not really the time to be like sealing the deal, which is why I really love this Mercury conjoining Neptune, because it's more like dreaming up the deal. So we can do the deal later, you know, but like after this eclipse, sitting with your thoughts, thinking about where all of it landed for you, and then tapping into that dream space of how to make your world better, because Mars wants to charge in and get shit done. Go Mars. But this isn't the week to get things done. Neptune is going to remind us. This is the time to manifest that cardinal energy that wants to come around the bend, that ability to create. It takes like a little bit of time of fallow in order to develop those things. And then on Thursday, here comes the sun again, trining, which is a good thing, working with Pluto. So to me, I think of that as like integration, okay? Like Pluto's the harder stuff. So whatever this eclipse brought up for you, or whatever it's continuing to bring up for you, whatever got brought to light, got brought to this sunlight into your world and cosmos, now is working with Pluto, which is all of that depth ruled by Scorpio. Pluto is or Scorpio's ruled by Pluto, rather. This is gonna be a bad video, okay, guys? I'm not feeling good. Anyway, Pluto which is Scorpio, which is ruled by Pluto, is in the mix here, which our eclipse was in Scorpio. So let me just tell you that that is integration, my friends. That is being able to bring to light whatever darkness was brought up and be able to see it for what it is. You know, the ghoulies and the ghosties aren't scary if we're really tapped in to the why. The why of them being scary, the why of it being harder, the why of us resisting, you know, the harder, darker parts of ourself. There's so much to be gleamed from our nitty gritty, ickety bickety bits. You know, that's a lot. It's a lot to handle, and it's why we don't get it all the time. But in something like a big eclipse, on Thursday, it's coming to help us, you know, because then Mercury, which rules our mind, is also going to be sextiling, working with, in a positive way, Jupiter, which is our planet of manifestation and good luck and good tidings, you know? So it's like, if you did your work, kids, if you did everything that you were supposed to be doing, then hooray. Like, there is a rainbow at the end of every rainstorm, right? I mean, it's cliche, but it's cliche because it's true. You know, there is always good things to be gleamed from the hard things, no matter how hard it is, no matter how grief-stricken we are. Grief and relief come together sometimes, you know, and when we're open and vulnerable and receptive and surrendering to the status quo, to what is, to our broken bones, to our broken hearts, to our broken skin, to our burned skin, ouch, then we can see, like, what is it that the universe was trying to teach me in that moment? Because everything in our lives is a teachable moment. And like, I'm not one of those, you know, positive vibey teachers is going to be like, see the bright side of every situation. But I'm like, no, bro, see the dark side of your situation. Like, go real deep and understand why it blows. Like, why do things suck right now? Why do hard things keep happening? Because there is, and I do believe this, a why. There's always going to be a why to the things that are going on inside of us. And if we're willing to do the excavation work to truly understand the why, then that's where the leveling up comes from. That's where we become the best versions of ourselves. That's where we really do the learning, you know? So that's cool. That's a good Thursday to have the sun working with things that are harder, to have Mercury, our thoughts, helping us integrate the harder things better. That's a good little nugget, you know, through all of this hardship. And then Friday, the sun moves, okay? It's been in Taurus. It's been in that yummy Venusian sign. And now it's moving into Gemini, which it's like anything goes. I think it's cool that Gemini season is the start of summer for kids and stuff, because it's like the throwing out of the proverbial routine, you know, but you have to at least have integrated the lessons of the Taurus. You have to have integrated what your foundation is going forward to then let that mercurial, amazing Gemini come in and sweep it clean and say, how do we innovate and do it with more fun and more pleasure? You know, when you have to do the hard work and the comfortable work and the safety work, then you have to unplug and do the harder, the more complicated, the more like maze structures inside of our bodies and minds work. And that can be really fun. You know, it can be a real game changer is what it can be. All of the stuckness that you felt last month wants to release itself. And the sun is here to remind us that nothing is permanent, not even our thoughts, not even our mindset is permanent. Okay. Taurus helped us to build it up, and Gemini is now here going to test it to see what sticks, to see what flows. Because then after Gemini comes Cancer, and that's when we start feeling with our hearts. And I love that. I just love that. To go from earth to air to water is such an interesting integration of self. And to make sure that you're being hyper aware of what foundationally you built that now might stop working when summer is upon us. And then Saturday, the sun conjoins Mercury. So it's like our thoughts and our cores can start this movement process. It's like the cleaning out of our gutters. It's all of this intense shit happened to us. And, you know, it's like after the storm, you got to take your broom and you got to clean up the shit, you know, and that's not fun. And I'm not saying this week is going to be fun, but it's going to be productive mentally and productive in our bodies and physically. And if we can accept our licks, take the, lessons of the hardship, then I think that we can move into a place of understanding ourselves better and understanding our own personal plights a little bit better, because things happen to all of us, and, none of us are special little snowflakes like I'm sure we wish that we were. I mean, we are. We're all, unique in our own ways, but we don't ever get to escape our demons and our mirrors and our triggers. And so maybe a lot of that came up for everybody this week or this last week and this weekend. So now it's time to do a little sweep up work. Now it's time to set our boundaries back. Now it's time to test our waters a little bit more with all of this new information that we got. And with that comes the Queen of Swords. My favorite word when I look at the Queen of Swords is discernment. Okay? This from that. It's our knife skills. It's the double-edged sword of every part of our lives, okay? Because everything, good or bad, can be a double-edged sword. If you get too much of one good thing, food, you get fat. Money, you get complacent. Love, you take it for granted. All of the pleasure sources have darker sides too. And so I really love the Queen of Swords because she reminds us that no matter what intensity or hardships or whatever we're going for and from, we have discernment inside of us to take the good and the bad of the situation and to discern what we're going to take, what lessons we're going to use moving forward to defend ourselves against life that is ever flowing and moving and changing us and moving us. And she stands her ground, bro. Like, she's tough as knives. She knows how, she has a deeper knowing that our thoughts are a passing thing, just like storms. They sometimes rage and we sometimes get compulsive, and sometimes like a dog with a bone, we just can't let it go, but it'll shift. It always does. And the ability to stand firm in whatever landscape you're in right now is so important because it's what builds character. The ability to sit in the eye of your own storm is like the most righteous kind of faith. And if your body doesn't feel good, if your soul doesn't feel good, sitting inside of that and allowing that to be so. It sucks to be sick. It sucks to be in pain. It sucks to have your feelings hurt. And it sucks to have things change. Taurus really shows us how much change can be painful and hurtful because Taurus likes to stay and build and have foundation. But here comes Gemini to show us that change can be a really positive thing too. As I said, on the one side, we can have grief, but on the other side, we can have relief because when we feel our emotions all the way through, it's like following the river down to our true life's dharma. If we neglect ourselves, if we don't learn the lessons, if we refuse to feel the feeling all the way through, then it's like a dam is put somewhere in our body that's stopping the energy from fully flowing itself through us. And, then we have to pay the piper. And then the eclipse hit us harder. The Saturn returns mess us up even deeper. And if we're not taking the time to learn our lessons, to stand in the discomfort of what that might feel like, then we're doomed to repeat it over and over and over until the universe is like, did you get it? And that's Pluto too. That's Pluto energy. And with the sun trining Pluto this week, you have this great opportunity to accept what is, no matter what your is might be, and to shift and move and change within it, not by pushing it away and not by avoiding it, but by molding into it, by letting life affect you greatly. I think sometimes we get caught in this minutia of Monday through Friday, we are this. Weekends we have time to do this. And it's like, where is there room for defining moments when we're so busy trying to get the day done? And this week might feel a little bit like cleanup crew time, and that's not always going to feel the best. I hate the dishes, okay? But if I'm doing them, if I'm keeping up with them, then I don't hate them so much because they're not in my face. But guess what? My dishes are in my face, and I have a burn on my hand, and I'm not feeling good, but I have to do my dishes, okay? This is literal and metaphorical. We have to do our dishes. There's just no choice, or the rodents and the ants come and get us. It is not fun. It is not always easy. But at the end of it, we have a clean kitchen, an internally clean kitchen, where we can look at ourselves and say, gosh, I really faced something hard, or I really went through something intense, and I was able to come out the other side understanding not anybody else, myself better. Because the better you understand yourself, the better you'll understand other people. The more compassion you have for yourself, the more compassion you'll have for other people. You know, it's like if you are really working through your shit, then other people's shit makes more sense too. And then maybe we can all forgive each other and ourselves for more, for all of the ways in which we couldn't always show up at the perfect right time, or say the perfect right things, or do the perfect right actions. You know, we all end up paying the piper with a dirty kitchen sometimes, and that's okay. I think this week is really showing us that all of this grease monkey disgustingness is okay, because I'm going to feel better soon, and I'm going to appreciate that I was able to surrender to the ick. My cats agree with me fully. So on point is what they're saying, basically. If you can totally integrate in this Queen of Swords and be able to discern what is your bad habits of thought, because here comes Gemini, ruled by Mercury, ruled the mind. If you can really start a mastery of your thoughts, then you can get through anything, because really it's how we see ourselves that is either building us up or breaking us down at the end of the day. If someone tells me something bad about myself, it only makes me feel bad if deep down I believe that that's true. So take that into consideration this week. There's been a lot. It's been a lot. Go slow. Don't fill up your calendar. Say no to some things. Have a rest. Have some tea. Drink your coffee. Allow pain, allow joy if it is, you know? Maybe this was vibey for you in a good way. Who knows? We all experience astrology differently. Regardless, it was powerful. It was a full moon too. Allow it to be powerful. Allow the integration to be slow, and allow your unfolding to be magnificent, whatever it is. Good, bad, ugly, it doesn't matter. Unfolding is unfolding, and leveling up is never clean or easy. But at the end of it, it's so beautiful to look at how far you've come when you don't even realize you were climbing in the first place. This is this time. We don't realize it, but we are leveling up on such a big playing field. And if we can have faith and we can have trust in the cleanup crew that is coming and sweeping us in this week, then maybe next week there's some beautiful insights to be gleaned from what it is we were able to learn. I'm sending you so much love. I'm sorry I'm sick and disgusting, but you know what? I'm not sorry. It was my evolution, and I'm so grateful for the home that puts a roof over my head. I'm grateful for the water that I get to drink to flush it out. And I'm pissed. Like, I hate being sick. I hate having a burn on my finger that makes everything, especially doing the dishes, really challenging. It's a challenging time, so I'm gonna go slow and maybe take a nap.